Hi, and welcome to the Pre-Moms Club Week 1 called Figuring You Out. So this is part of the newsletter series that I have in a sequence. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and go to the links below, subscribe to the newsletter, and it will be sent out to you week by week. And it adds a lot of tips to your life, tips and tricks for getting your health and hormones in order, encouraging you to take the trip you've always dreamed of, encouraging you to get low tox products for your beauty and skincare and hair care routines, and encouraging you to get a side gig to support your future kiddos, or to get a remote job so you can be at home with them when you do have kids. So this is for women 1 to 5 years out from getting pregnant who are ready to get their life in order. All right, figuring you out. I know a lot of you guys don't have time to sit there and read an email, so I will read this to you, but there is an aspect of this that requires you to sit down, think about your life, write down some goals, and organize your week. So here we go. Why should you read this? If you feel like a chicken with your head cut off and never know what needs to be done, you don't know how to make a change in your life, you feel like you never have time for you, you're juggling too much, you don't know how to start making progress towards your dreams, you miss appointments, you waste a ton of time, this is for you. And there's a meme, make sure you check this out. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. It says, LOL, figure myself out. I can't even decide what I want for breakfast. Thanks for being part of my vision to help women just like you. This is such a good feeling to connect with people who are in the same stage of life with a similar mindset and really understand what you're going through. Before we start, make sure you saw the welcome letter and got a chance to look at the bucket list. Print the first page. There's a link here for the bucket list if you didn't get it last week. The point of the bucket list is to ease any stress you have about needing to be ready before you have a baby, but still give you some good things to do in the years before you get pregnant so that you feel healthy, happy, and capable of anything. Before we start tackling the million things that we think we have to do and change and fix in order to become a mom, let's just take a moment. Appreciate yourself for arriving at this breaking point and deciding to make a change. This is an amazing first step. Some people don't get this special time to focus on themselves and really savor these last few years without a kid to actually feel prepared. You are in a good spot. Change isn't easy, and sometimes people continue their whole life without questioning what they could have been or done and not pushing the limits, but just getting by. But you were made for so much more. You are capable of incredible things if you put your mind to work and have God on your side. I'm so excited to see what happens when you push yourself to the limits. Look out. I hope you are as exhilarated as me when you think about all the possibilities you could see happening in your life. Change and potential are incredibly exciting. If you can't see it yet, just wait. I hope to inspire you to become the healthiest, happiest, bounce off the wall with joy version of yourself you have ever seen. Side note, I am usually very succinct and short-winded, but I have a lot of explaining in these initial weeks so we can get on the same page, so bear with me. I know your time is precious and I will keep this as short as possible. All right, let's get on to the first step. Read this when you have about 20 to 40 minutes to do this activity. Grab a warm tea or coffee or journal and planner, a colorful pen, and find a quiet, cozy spot. If you don't have a planner, get one. Buy a fun one that you love the colors and look of so that you'll want to use it. Also grab any to-do list, any list of tasks to do, pull up a note on your phone of old things that you need to do. We're going to be consolidating everything. All right, our first task, figuring you out. Thank you so much for joining me and all the other girls like us in this endeavor to be the best possible version of ourselves. We are so fed up with how we've been living and ready to get our lives together and ready for change. But before we do, we have to figure out ourselves. We have to figure out what we really want and how to trick ourselves into getting things done and actually making change. That can be the hardest part. This is not an easy task, especially if you have been a master procrastinator your whole life, or if you are disorganized, forgetful, or unmotivated. Well, don't worry, we are going to work on all of those things. I want to teach you a few ways to start changing your life, and some may work for you and some may not. Find a method that actually gets you to change and stick with that. That's part of figuring yourself out. Once you try a few ways to get yourself to be productive and organized, you will figure out what you need to do to make things happen. Here's another meme. Your week will look a lot better if you plan ahead. Change my mind. This is going to be about a 1 to 3 months process to figure yourself out, so don't try to rush the process and give up after a day. There's a 4-step process I follow to design my week and plan my week so my life gets closer and closer to my dream life every day that goes by. This week, I would love for you to try to organize your days more than you usually do. If what I'm going to show you is too basic, try to organize your time even more than you already do on your own. You are beyond us. For the newbies to life organization, let's start from the beginning. So step 1, grab a paper or a journal and get cozy. Make sure it's an 8.5 by 11 at least. Divide the paper into 4 quadrants. In the top left, label it daily. The top right, label it weekly. The bottom left, label it monthly. And the bottom right, label it quarterly and yearly. So here's an example of that, also in the newsletter. Spend time in each quadrant listing what you would want to do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. Don't list the things you do without a thought, like eat dinner or brush your teeth, unless you don't already do those things. Look at any to-do lists you might have on your phone, computer, or laying around the house. Make sure everything is here and accounted for. Then make me a promise, okay? You're going to stop creating multiple to-do lists. Everything is going to be in one place. We are trying to simplify your life, so we're going to get everything in one spot so your brain can stop working overtime and always feel like you're forgetting something or don't have time for something. Think about what you really wish you could be doing in your life daily and weekly and write those in. You are designing your dream life, so make it something you love. Examples might be stretch for 10 minutes daily, call my mom weekly, read the Pre-Moms Club newsletter weekly, plan my week weekly, work out 4 times weekly, search for a new job weekly if you aren't happy with yours, get a massage monthly, I wish, clean out your fridge quarterly, go to the doctor for a checkup yearly. So things like that, things that would be really, really good for you that maybe you aren't doing yet, but can plan into your life now. Envision the new you. What does she do as her hobbies? What does she do at home? How does she relax and de-stress? What does she prioritize? What does she do for fun and what makes her feel alive? So make sure all of these things are on the paper. Step 2, get a new sheet of paper and get ready to dream. Title it Big Scary Dreams. Now I want you to list out all of your big, big dreams that you hold inside of you. What do you want? What would you want your exercise routine to look like? What do you want your relationships to look like? Do you want to change your career? Do you want to make more money? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to join a women's group or make more friends? Do you want to start playing a sport? Spend a long time here and list it all. Pour out your heart. I'm sure things will pop into your head over the next few days and you can come back and add to this. Find all of your old post-it notes on your phone, documents on your computer, anything that has your dreams or things that you want to do. We are going to consolidate everything into one spot and get rid of the extra clutter. Delete or throw away the other things after you consolidate. Number your goals. I had 10. I would recommend about 7 to 15 goals. So out of all those dreams, come up with some goals and then list them 1 through 10 or 1 through 15. After the big dreams, also write down your New Year's resolutions or other goals you may have. This can be on the same paper or another if you ran out of room because you're such a big dreamer. If you don't have any resolutions, come up with some short-term goals that maybe break down your big dreams into smaller chunks that are attainable this year. Make sure they are very specific. How much do you want to make this year? Do you want to travel somewhere? Do you want to be able to do the splits? That's one of mine. So you have these big goals. So maybe your goal is to make $500,000 a year. So maybe break that down to an attainable goal for this year to maybe make $50,000 more than you usually do or $100,000 more than you usually do. That would be an example of breaking it down. All right, step 3. After you have all of your dreams and goals down and really put some time into that, we're going to take these goals and break them down into actionable steps. If you have never been successful with resolutions, I'm going to show you how to make yourself be successful. Read each goal one by one. Think about an action that you could do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly to help you get there. And add those actions back into the first page that you made. Do this for every goal and dream. For example, If one of my goals is to be traveling for 3 months or more of the year, I would make a weekly goal to look for discounted flights, or a weekly task on my weekly task list to look for discounted flights. Now, you probably have a pretty hefty list of things to do daily and weekly, but that's okay. This is just a rough draft, and some things are going to resonate with you in your life and others might not. It's okay to change your mind. Like I said, this process of figuring you out takes over a month. Step 4, time to grab your planner. We are going to get these tasks done, and the best way I've found is to assign them to a day. Ideally, your planner will show the whole 7-day week and have space for you to write things to do each day. If it doesn't, grab a sheet of paper, create 7 columns labeled with the days of the week, and I usually start with Monday because I do my week planning on Sundays. So first, if you have any things that are out of the ordinary this week, like meetings, dates, appointments, put those in now on their corresponding day and put the time that it's occurring. Then, read each task from your weekly quadrant and assign it a day. Pick a day when you know you actually have time and are able to do it. For example, if you have get groceries on your weekly list, pick a time when you know you might actually feel like getting groceries. Don't put on a day when you have a crazy busy day at work. Pick an easier day. Make sure each weekly task ends up on your planner on some day. So here's an example of what the weekly planner might look like. Make sure there's space for to list activities to do each day. For the daily tasks that were on your first paper, please don't write those 7 times. What you could do is type them up and print them out, and you could do a check mark next to them every day you do them. You could write them out on a note card that you keep in a spot you'll see every day, or maybe on the mirror or the fridge. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you see them daily and get time to work on those. For me, I have them written on a paper that I put in a sheet protector, and I cross them off with a highlighter or a whiteboard marker every day, and then you can just erase it every day. Again, this is a week of figuring you out, so during this week, try different methods and see which one actually makes you look at your daily to-do list and do them. That's the goal. Okay, so now you have your daily and weekly plan. I hope you don't feel overwhelmed, but I hope you feel excited for this week to happen so we can see how it goes. I'm warning you now. You're going to miss a few things you have written down, and that's okay. Seriously, I won't be mad. I'm so happy that you're even trying to change and organize your life that it's okay to miss some things here and there. Be easy on yourself and learn from what happens this week, but just aim to make each week better than the previous week. Hold on to the monthly, quarterly, and yearly things listed. We will get to those in the near future. When it's the week of your menstrual cycle, be aware of that and don't plan anything for the first few days of your cycle. It's super important to always know what day of your cycle you're on and start keeping track in your planner. I usually put a little number in pencil under the day of the month that's already in the planner. For example, if it's March 15th and I'm on day 4 of my cycle, I put a little 4 under the printed 15 on the calendar. Alrighty then, I feel like a teacher sending you off with homework. I'm excited to see how you do, and I hope this helps you feel even just a little more organized. There are going to be things that come up and try to distract you and knock you off your course. Be prepared and know your plan. Stick to this one journal and planner and resist the temptation to have to-do lists everywhere. I hope you put something on your weekly plan that you are looking forward to. If not, add that in now. Put have fun for at least an hour on your weekly list. Always make time for fun. Here's another little meme of your brain. I'll read you the 4 stages. Me now with a small little brain. Me thinking about my dreams. It's starting to get some firing going on in there. Me creating action steps for my dreams. And me strategically planning my week with action steps. Your brain's firing. All right, next week we'll check in and see how you felt after living out your planned week. This is going to take a lot of practice. Remember, we are just trying to figure you out. Take note of how you feel on certain days, what you feel up for, when you have the most energy, when you have extra pockets of time, or how many things you can have on your list before you get overwhelmed. All of that. Be super observant this week. You're like a puzzle that we are trying to solve so we can get all those loose pieces in place. And remember, the main goal of this is for you to design and create your dream life so you can start living your dream life as soon as possible. Baby steps. All right, happy living, love always, Ness.